Hello everyone, how is everyone doing on this beautiful day? I just want to welcome you to the Heart to Heart YouTube channel. If this is your first time looking at one of the videos, I welcome you and I highly encourage you to take some time to look at some of my other videos. I am talking about a variety of topics, specifically women, but there are videos for men as well. A variety of topics that we all go through that will help give you some solutions to your problems, some answers to your questions, and that will be just very helpful for your everyday life. So again, to all my new subscribers and anyone watching a video for the first time, I just want to say welcome and thank you. And for all those that have been subscribed with me for a while and have been sharing videos, I just want to say thank you. I greatly appreciate your support and all that you're doing to help promote what I am trying to do. So again, I just want to say thank you. Today's video is going to talk about stress management, and I will talk about the things that can cause stress, some of the effects of stress, and then also ways to manage stress. And before I get started on all those different areas, I want to tell you the reason why I purposely, intentionally did this video right here on the beach is because the beach is one of my favorite places to be. It's one of the most relaxing places. Whenever I am going through some difficult times, if I'm on the beach, it just takes me away from whatever is going on. The sound of the water, the sound of the waves are just so relaxing to me. And so that is one of my ways of managing stress, implementing things that are relaxing to me, that take me away from whatever is causing me the stress. And so again, the reason why I'm doing this right here on the beach is because the beach is so therapeutic to my mind, so therapeutic to my body, and just relaxing. So when you think of the term stress, you also have to think about ways to manage your stress and what can you do to relax your mind, what can you do to relax your body and put yourself at a more at ease state and a more peaceful state. You're better able to handle situations when you're able to handle your stress. So when we think of stress management and when we think of the term stress, our mind automatically gives us a negative connotation of what stress is. However, when we think of stress, we automatically think of a negative connotation. But stress for a short period of time and a healthy amount of stress, where it's not for a prolonged period of time and the intensity is not high, can be healthy. It can actually heighten your awareness, your attentiveness, and just increase your awareness to a particular problem, situation, circumstance. However, when you have a stress with increased intensity for a prolonged period of time, that can actually have a negative impact on your overall health. It can put you at risk for sickness and disease because your body, the increased levels of cortisol can put you at risk for sickness and disease. Your body has a harder time fighting off sickness and illness. So again, stress for a short period of time is okay. However, increased stress at high intensity for a long period of time is not good for your mind, it's not good for your body, it's not good for your spirit. So keeping your stress in check is important. Some causes of stress or some triggers would include our jobs. You know, we have to work, we have to meet our finances, but our jobs can be stressful. The number of hours that you have to work each day or each week can cause stress, or the number of hours that you have to work to meet that income requirement on that weekly check or bi-weekly check can cause stress. The demand of the job, whether it's mentally, physically, can play a strong role in your emotional well-being. When you've worked a lot of hours, you're tired, so you're not able to put all that you can in other areas of your life because of your job sometimes. So keeping that in balance and finding a job that is right for you is important with stress management. Our finances, which goes back to our jobs, it has a strong role in our finances. When your finances or your expenses exceed your income, that can be stressful. When you're in a position where you're working a lot of hours, but you're still not making the money that you need to make to meet your expenses or live the kind of life that you want, that can be stressful. So money management and doing things that can increase your income can cause stress. So figuring out ways to meet your financial obligations while being able to live life and enjoy life, you have to maintain balance with that, and that can cause stress. Relationships with your partner, your friends, your family, or even the relationship that you have with yourself can be stressful sometimes, because if you're in a position of trying to better yourself, that transition of where you're at right now and where you're trying to go, whether that's mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, that can cause stress on you. And so just keeping in mind where you're at and where you're trying to go, and keeping that balance, maintaining that balance of that relationship with yourself can be stressful. So it's important to implement stress management strategies so that you can create the best you that you can create. Because at the end of the day, who cares what everybody else has going on? You have to take care of you. You have to take care of your star player, the person that you wake up to each day. The condition of one's health, whether it's your health or taking care of someone else, can be stressful. When you're undergoing sickness and disease or illness, that can add stress to you. And so keeping that in check, or when you're taking care of someone else, a family member, a friend, maintaining balance of taking care of the person that you're caring for. And then also self-care is very important. And if you check out the channel, my Heart to Heart YouTube channel, and take a look at Angelina's advice on self-care, she did a phenomenal job on self-care. So if you take a look at that video, she gave some great advice on maintaining self-care, the importance and ways of being able to do that. Planning events, weddings, birthdays, funerals, open houses. You know, when we think of weddings, birthdays, open houses, bridal showers, bachelorette parties, that can be fun. It can be fun, I'm telling you. But that can add stress to your life. So maintaining balance, again, it can add stress to your life. But to maintain that balance, do exactly what it's meant to be and have fun with it. When you're planning a funeral, you have emotional ties to that person that can cause stress, distress, emotional discomfort, because you're emotionally tied to that person. And so the one thing that I want to remind you is to not only, when you're planning the funeral or and things of that nature, to keep in mind the life that they lived, the legacy that they left, the impact that they have left on your life and others. Keep that in mind when you're undergoing the hardships and the pain of losing the loved one. Keep in mind the life that they lived, the legacy that they left, the impact that they left on your life. And let that bring a little joy to your heart, a little sunshine to your spirit as you mourn the loss of them. So again, being able to handle your stress and your emotional discomfort, being able to maintain balance, acknowledge where you are with the pain, but then also don't try not to allow that to overconsume you. And don't get me wrong, I understand. I know life can throw you some blows. We are just not in control of everything that happens to us. So, but maintaining that balance and keeping it in check is very therapeutic for stress management. We all juggle multiple roles, whether it's being a mother, a father, a sister, a brother, a cousin, a friend, a student. And once you reach a certain age, I'm a firm believer that we all become teachers and we still remain students at this life. Life is a journey. Success is a journey. It's not about being the best at everything you do, but being the best you that you can be. And so we juggle multiple roles, and keeping that in balance is very helpful with stress management, and juggling those multiple roles can add on some added stress to your life. Next, I want to talk about some reactions of stress. Some reactions of stress can include headaches, migraines, sleep disorders, fatigue, irritability, depression, mood swings, high blood pressure, upset stomach, stomach ulcers. You have a decreased immune system. As I mentioned earlier in the video, the cortisol levels increase in your immune system, and which causes a decrease in your immune system. So increased stress for a prolonged period of time can have a negative impact on your mood. It can cause emotional discomfort, distress, anxiety. So making sure you keep your stress in check is very therapeutic for stress management. And before I get started on some ways for stress management, I highly recommend you consult with your primary care physician before attempting to buy any supplements or any additional activities or exercise that you're not used to doing on a regular basis. I highly recommend you consult with your primary care physician to make sure that what I am suggesting is appropriate for you in your health status. You know your health status better than I do, so make sure that you know where you stand with that. And so some ways to manage stress or stress management: have a positive attitude. That right there is so important. We can't control the events, the situations, the circumstances that come to us sometimes. You just have to remember there are events beyond your control. But what we do have control over is how we allow an event, a situation, a circumstance, a problem. We have control over how we allow that to affect us and how much of an impact we allow that to have on our life. That's what we do have control. So being able to maintain balance, again, we can't control what happens to us, but what we do have control over is how we handle the event, situation, problem, or circumstance, and how we allow that particular event, how we allow that to affect us. That is what we do have control over. Being assertive, not passive, not aggressive, but being assertive about situations, circumstances, events, problems. Being assertive, not passive, where you just let things go and you allow them to build up inside of you, and then you just explode because you didn't address the situation at that time. And not being aggressive, overly aggressive, and allowing anger and frustration and anxiety to consume you and take over your thoughts, your mind, and your emotion. So being, engaging in active listening and actions, acting appropriately at the time that you need to act. Look at the big picture. Don't spend majority of your time and energy on the small parts that create the big picture. Keep in mind the big picture. What is your overall goal? What are you trying to accomplish? What are you trying to get done? What are you trying to fulfill? Remember, keep in mind the big picture, the overall goal. Don't focus more on the small parts to get to the goal. Focus more on the big picture and implement what is needed to get to that place, to reach your goal. Avoid the need of being a perfectionist. It's okay to make a mistake. You don't have to be perfect. Life and the way it's set up has us to believe that we got to be perfect in everything we do and we can't be flawless. Yes, you can have flaws. Everything about you is what makes you who you are. So embrace it. Embrace your imperfections. Embrace your flaws. Embrace your accomplishments. Embrace everything about you that makes you who you are. Again, you have to remember, life is a journey. Success is a journey. Embrace the process. Embrace the process. That can be very therapeutic for stress management. Exercise, aerobic exercise, getting some activity in each day is therapeutic for stress management. So that can include walking, bicycling, swimming, running. This helps release the tension, the frustration that could be built up inside of you. So getting some type of activity in. The American Heart Association recommends that we get in 30 minutes of a brisk walk each day or 3 to 4 times a week. So getting some type of activity in. If you work in an office and you oftentimes take the elevator, sometimes take the stairs. Get that heart rate pumping. Get that elevated a little bit. Work that heart a little bit. Work those muscles. Work those joints. Get that heart rate up. That can be good for you. And it's therapeutic with stress management. Eating a healthy diet consisting of fruits and vegetables and minimizing beef and pork can do wonders for your mind, your body, and your spirit. Incorporating protein that is healthy for you. And when we think of meat such as fish and definitely salmon, can have a positive impact on your ways of managing stress and a positive impact on your overall health. So maintaining a healthy diet consisting of fruits and vegetables and minimizing the unhealthy meats, Don't get me wrong, I am a work in progress. I love soul food. But when you think of soul food, we oftentimes pour additional salt or sugar on things that are already high in salt or high in sugar, which can have a negative impact on your health. Can have a negative impact on your mind, your thought process. They say that if the foods that you eat do not give you energy, then you're eating the wrong foods. And when we think of soul food, after you eat a nice, good soul food meal, what's the first thing that comes to mind? It's being able to go to sleep because you're tired. That food, that meal, the meat can be greasy, high in grease, We're pouring additional salt on foods that are already high in salt, like canned vegetables. So when you go to the grocery store, take some time to look at your labels. I highly recommend. When I'm at the grocery store, I spend more time sometimes not only on my purchases, but taking the time to look at my food labels and comparing which ones have more salt than the other, which one has more cholesterol than the other. And you will sometimes find that the off brands have less sodium, have less cholesterol, have less fat in it. Sometimes the off brand does. You'll be surprised. So take some time to look at your labels, get more in tune with your health if you haven't already, and become more health conscious and living a healthier lifestyle that will help with stress management. Asking friends and family for help when you need it. Asking friends and family for help when you need it. And I want to include this in this part of maintaining balance. Make sure you maintain balance. I have a video where I talked about you can't pour from an empty cup. And I mentioned in that video how in this world we have givers and we have takers. And you have to maintain balance. You cannot be the one that's always on the receiving side where you're constantly asking for help. And you cannot always be the one that's on the giving side where you're constantly giving help, because you can't maintain balance that way. It has to be some type of stability. You have to have some type of stability with being a giver and being a receiver. But when you need help, you need to don't feel bad about asking. People oftentimes don't want to ask for help because they're ashamed, they're embarrassed, or they don't want to feel like they're being a burden or impeding on someone else's space or their time or their finances. But if you need help, ask for help. And if you're the person that's being asked of help, if you know that person is going somewhere, if you know that they're going to be responsible with what you're giving them, then help them out, because you will be amazed and surprised of what just a little bit of help can do for someone. It can take them a long way just by giving them a little bit of help. So, both parties maintaining that balance of giving and receiving. You can't stay on one side. You have to be able to know where you stand. There's times when you need to be a giver, and there's times when you need to ask and be willing to receive help. That's how we need to keep this world balanced, with giving and receiving. Y'all see this sweat that is just dripping down my face. It is so hot, but I am enjoying being out here. What are some of your hobbies? Do you like singing? Do you like to write? Do you like to draw? Do you like to read? One of my favorite hobbies is reading. I absolutely love reading. I sometimes don't get enough hours in the day to be able to read to the extent that I would like to. I have 2 daughters, and so I have one daughter during the school year. I have to take her to school. I have to pick her up from school each day. The school that she attends doesn't provide transportation, but it's a phenomenal school. And then my other daughter, she is very active in her school, and she is in a lot of different after-school activities, and she helps with a lot of different events with the school. So my life is very busy. Whether I'm at work or not, my life is busy, so I'm not able to read to the extent that I would like to each day. But what are your hobbies? Is it reading? Is it writing? Is it drawing? Is it singing? Is it comedy? What are some of your hobbies? Spend some time with your hobbies. you will be amazed at how that can take you away from your problems and just put you in a different state, a different place, and a more peaceful place. When I am reading, it takes my mind away from whatever is stressing me out at the time. So take some time to spend with your hobbies. That can give you a break from whatever is causing you some stress, some tension, or anxiety, or even depression. Relaxation techniques. Here's a good one. Meditation. There are all sorts of ways of meditation, and if you look online, YouTube provides a lot of information on meditation. Take some time for meditation, visualization, creative imagery. I don't live close to a beach, especially not the Atlantic or the Pacific, like a big body of water. I don't live close to a big body of water, but, create the beach in your mind. I want to share with you a story. I have problems with migraine headaches, and one day I was having a migraine, and I'm not on any type of medications. I'm not on blood pressure medications. I am not on insulin for diabetes or anything of that nature. I'm not on any type of medication. But when I have migraines, I sometimes take Excedrin, and sometimes my migraines, they will come and they'll go away and then they'll come back, and they can do that for 3-4 days. And so when we think of Excedrin has aspirin, it has caffeine in it, it has Tylenol in it. And so one day I just so happened to take this oil that I bought from the Whole Foods market, and it has lavender and it has peppermint. It's very soothing to your skin and relaxing to the muscles that can be tense. So I placed some over my forehead, and I placed some on the back of my neck, and then I laid back on my recliner because it extends all the way back where you can pretty much lay down on it. I have fallen asleep on my recliner before because it's very comfortable. So I had placed some of that on my neck and on my forehead, and I just imagined myself at the beach. I imagined myself hearing the sound of the water and hearing the sound of the waves, and I kid you not, it actually made my headache feel better. It lessened my pain from my migraine. So being able to implement alternative therapies to your pain can be very therapeutic for stress management, discomfort. Massages, those are my favorite. I absolutely love going to Foot Euphoria. For those that live in Indy, Foot Euphoria has a deal where you can get 60 minutes of a full body massage from head to toe. They massage your scalp all the way down to your feet. 60 minutes for $35. You cannot beat that, because most places charge double and you might end up getting less time. But at Foot Euphoria, you can get 60 minutes for $35, full body massage. And they can do it soft, or they can do it hard, or the deep tissue, whichever kind you prefer. Some massages are very therapeutic. They're very relaxing to your mind and your body, which in turn can have a positive impact on your spirit and your overall health. Time management, setting limits, making time for yourself, managing your time, planning things appropriately, making sure you give yourself time to work on a particular event. Being able to manage your time is very important. Plan out your day, plan out your week, plan out your schedule. Is very important for stress management. I remember when I was in school, don't get me wrong, there were times where, you wait till the last minute and you feel like you have wrote some of your best papers when you waited till the last minute. However, when you wait to the last minute to do things, you add more stress, more anxiety to what it is that you're working on, and you're not always able to think with a clear mind. So managing your time appropriately, giving yourself a break, whether it's studying or a project for work, or planning an event, whether it's a wedding, an open house. You don't have to complete it all in one session, the planning process. Take time to take breaks in between. When you give yourself breaks, you allow yourself to rejuvenate and give yourself the fuel and the energy that you need to put towards that particular event or project, or whatever it is that you're planning, or whatever it is that you are studying for. Setting limits. Know your limits. Don't overcommit yourself to something. If you know that you will not have time to participate in something, or you won't have time to be a part of an event or project, it's okay to say no. Don't overcommit yourself, because when you do that, you disappoint the person that you said that you were going to be there for, and then you also disappoint yourself, and you begin to feel bad about that. So be conscious about what you know you are able to do and what you cannot do, and don't feel bad for saying no. Don't overcommit yourself. Make time for yourself. It is important for us to make time for ourselves. We make time for everyone else, but we oftentimes do not make enough time for ourselves. So in the mornings when you wake up, one of the first things you should do, instead of logging into your Facebook or your Twitter or your Instagram to see what everybody else is doing, wake up, lay in the bed, allow your mind and your thoughts to run freely. Be in tune with you. Be in tune with yourself. You will be amazed. Some of the questions that you may be asking yourself, you will find that when you make some time for you alone in a peaceful, quiet, relaxing environment, you can find some of the answers to your questions and some of the solutions to your problems. You will be amazed at how therapeutic just spending some time by yourself can be, and that can help with stress management. Adequate rest. Adequate rest. Our body tells us what we need when we need it. So when your body is hungry, your stomach is growling, your stomach is gurgling, you get a headache, you start becoming fatigued, you're tired because you haven't eaten anything, go ahead and feed yourself. Don't say, I'm going to wait till later. Do it now and eat you a nutritious meal. You know, it's okay to every now and then, add some junk food or something in there that you probably shouldn't. You need to treat yourself sometimes. But eating a healthy diet and getting adequate rest at night so that you can rejuvenate. Again, like I said earlier, you are able to think more clearly when you're well hydrated, when you've had enough rest, and when you have had a diet consisting of the nutrients that your body needs. So making sure that you get adequate rest is very important. Like I said, our body tells us what it needs when we need it. When we're tired and we're sleepy and we develop a headache, and our body is telling us that we're tired. So you need to get the rest that you need so that you can be alert. When you are lacking sleep and sleep deprived, your concentration and your attention level is decreased. So you need to be able to make sure that you get adequate rest. Avoid alcohol and caffeine. When we're going through difficult times, when we're going through hardships, we tend to want to lean towards things that are unhealthy for us. such as caffeine. You know, we feel like that's giving us the fuel that we need to keep us going, when it's actually taking you away from your desired outcome. And when we're going through hardships, we tend to want to drink alcohol. And caffeine is a stimulant, and alcohol is a central nervous system depressant. So when you think you're actually drinking some alcohol to take you away from whatever it is that is on your mind, you're actually adding to the problem. You're not helping with the remedy for the problem. You're actually adding to the problem. And don't get me wrong, I like alcoholic beverages. I like my margaritas. Don't get me wrong, I love my margaritas. But when you are going through stressful events, situations, circumstances where your anxiety level is high, or you're feeling depressed for whatever reason, that is the time where you need to become even more health conscious and taking care of you, giving your body what it needs so that it can help you get through whatever it is that you are going through. Vitamin C. And again, before you take any supplements or include any type of exercise or activities, consult with your primary care physician. But vitamin C has been found to help with the chemical properties and chemical reactions in the body by reducing cortisol levels, which cortisol, when released in the body, decreases the immune system, decreases the body ability to be able to fight infection, decreases the body's ability to be able to fight sickness and illness. So vitamin C, and take some time to look up the positive effects of including vitamin C in your diet, whether it's through the foods that you eat or actually taking a supplement. Vitamin C can have a positive impact on your mood, on your health. Women, we take time to get our hair and our nails done, our lashes done, and just different things to enhance our beauty that is already there. But we don't do it from the purpose of just simply pampering ourselves. You know, do it for the purpose of pampering yourself. Don't do it for the purpose of trying to look better than the next, or feeling like this is your way of looking good, so then you feel good when you're doing those things. Look good for you and feel good for you, about you, for who you are, and not what's on the outside. Being able to know that you are a good person on the inside is what should make you feel beautiful. Not the hairstyle that you have, not the makeup that you apply, not the nails that you get done, not the lashes that you have done. Feel good about you for who you are, and allow all those additional things to be a way of pampering yourself and not a way of making you feel better about yourself. So doing it from a standpoint of pampering yourself. For my guys, you know, there are some of you that are working, you're taking care of your kids. You may be even taking care of someone else's child or someone else's children. You guys need to take time to treat yourself. You know, if you're a single father, you don't have to be in a relationship to take a vacation. One of the things that I've noticed when I take vacations is I don't see a lot of single guys take vacations. I see guys more when they're with their partner, their significant other, or with family, or with their spouse, taking vacations. Hey, you don't have to be with a female to take a vacation. If you are handling your business, you're taking care of responsibility, then you deserve to take a break. You deserve to take a vacation. You deserve to take a break and treat yourself. One of the things that I meant to mention earlier, but now that I just thought of it, I'm going to go ahead and mention it. Breathing exercises. You will be amazed at what breathing exercises can do for you. If you take a moment with me Let's practice 3 to 4 breaths. Deep breathing and then exhale. Deep breathing and then exhale. That is something that you can do while you're at work, when you're sitting at your desk and your boss is stressing you out. Your kids are calling you on the phone. Mom, I need this. Dad, I need this. Your friends are calling you. Hey, can I borrow this? Or can I get your help with this? Taking some time to do some deep breathing exercises, you will be amazed at what deep breathing exercises can do for you. So taking some time out of your day to do deep breathing exercises. And guess what? It is free. Hey, you don't have to pay for it. Because when you think about it, when you're stressed, when your anxiety level is high, your heart rate is increased. Your blood pressure is increased, your respirations are increased. So when you take some time to do some deep breathing exercises, that helps relax your body a little bit. It helps release some of the tension, the tension that's put on the body, and helps relax some of the anxiety that you may be feeling. So again, maintaining a healthy weight, a balanced diet, balancing your roles is very therapeutic for stress management. Remember, you are your star player. The person that you wake up to each day is the person that you need to make sure that every time you pour into someone else, that you turn around and you pour just as much back into you. Because you, as I mentioned in one of my other videos, you can't pour from an empty cup. When you give, and don't get me wrong, it is great to give, because just as much as you give, you will receive in return. We do reap what we sow. And so when you sow good seeds, you reap that harvest. However, you have to take time to refuel. Just like when you're driving a car and you got to fill that gas tank up. What happens when the gas runs out? The car stops. No matter how much you try to start that ignition, it is not going to start back up. You have to go to the gas station and refuel. And just like for yourself, your mind, your body, your spirit, you have to take time to refuel. It is okay to make sure that you maintain balance in your life. Make sure that you maintain balance in the multiple roles that you may hold. I remember in my fundamentals clinical, I had a lady that she traveled a lot during her younger days. This particular patient was on an Alzheimer's unit, dementia unit, and what she would do is anytime the door would open, it would automatically take her to a place when she was traveling. And so she would say, I gotta go, I gotta catch my flight. Just simply having the door open would take her back, even though her mind was failing her, would take her back to a happy place of being able to travel a lot. And she would think, I gotta catch my flight. And so making sure you take time to treat yourself. I hope I never develop Alzheimer's or dementia, but if for any reason life lands me there, I hope that the memories that I am doing now, the things that I'm doing now, creates long-lasting, beautiful memories that I can later reflect on in my later days of my life. So again, taking time for stress management is very important. It's very important. You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't be all that you can be to someone else if you don't take time to be all that you can be to yourself. So I thank you for tuning in to the Heart to Heart YouTube channel. I hope that you guys were able to get something out of this video. Please like the video, comment, let me know what are some of the things that stress you out. What are some of your ways that you have implemented in your life that has been helpful through your journey to maintain balance and being able to cope with different situations, problems, or circumstances? What are some of your ways of managing and handling your stress? Please make a comment in the comment section. Share the video on your social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Share the video. Allow others to have an opportunity to gain the information that you have just learned and be able to provide some insight for their life as well. Subscribe to the Heart to Heart YouTube channel. I greatly appreciate all of my subscribers, and I welcome all of my new subscribers. So until the next video, love yourselves and take care.